What's going on, guys? Joe Reece, Full Circle Fitness, Forthright Nutrition. I wanted to remind you, go to my website at fullcirclefitness618.com, wait a few seconds, put in your full name, your email, and you will get a free SMART goal sheet to help you succeed in 2020. This video is part of a 3-part series that is going to go over each macronutrient and basically talk about what they are, what they do, how it affects our metabolism, what our body does with them, how it affects our recovery, how much we need, things like that. This first video is going to talk about protein. Protein to me is the absolute most important macronutrient just because of what it does in our body and basically how our body reacts to it and how it affects our recovery or lack thereof. Okay, so what is protein? Protein is basically amino acids that are found in food sources, from plants, from animals, from dairy products, from poultry, things like that. They have protein in them because they took their amino acids and they folded them, they bent them into basically usable things just like our body does. Well, we don't really need it for that. When we ingest those, there's basically 20 amino acids that we typically get from any source of protein. Now they are in totally different ratios depending on the source, and that's why there's different qualities of protein sources. And 9 of them are essential and the other 11 are non-essential. Basically what that means is those 9 we have to get from food. If we don't get them from food, then we just basically lack those amino acids. We can't recover and we can't utilize them to our full benefit. The other 11 are non-essential, which basically means that our body can manufacture those either from those essential ones or from other components and basically form those amino acids ourselves. The next thing I want to talk about is the thermic effect of food. So thermic effect of food is the amount of calories that it takes our body to basically break down, to digest all of our food into its individual components. And that's proteins, fats, carbs, all that kind of stuff. The benefit about protein is it has the highest thermic effect of food. So it has 20 to 35%, depending on what sources you use, that our body uses 20 to 35% of those calories for actually breaking it down. So what that means, per 100 calories of protein that we eat, our body utilizes 20 to 35% of those calories for actually digestion and to be able to pull those amino acids out of that food. So what does protein do? Protein does a lot of things. Protein it helps us recover because, when we're creating breakdown in the gym, we have to have those amino acids to be able to basically rebuild that muscle that we did break down. So going back to from the food sources, our body breaks it down to amino acids. What our body does is it takes those building blocks and rebuilds them into proteins that we need. So it'll take those, put them in chains, fold them, put them in our muscles, put them in our organs, basically wherever our body requires those. If we have excess amino acids or it becomes conditionally essential, then our body will use those for actual energy. And that's where the 4 calories per gram comes from. But for the most part, most of the protein that we eat and we ingest in a day does not get utilized for energy, but instead it gets utilized for basically rebuilding our body. Okay. Other than that, protein does have a little bit of dietary functions, if you will. It helps us get rid of excess water. Just because as our body is breaking down protein, as it's using a little bit for energy, it actually requires a little bit of water. So it can help us get rid of some of the excess water weight. If we're having a little bit extra carbs or a little bit extra sodium, it helps us get rid of that little bit of extra water. The other thing it does is it provides fullness. So a lot of other macronutrients don't really provide that much fullness just because our body can break them down and basically put them in our small intestines quicker, where protein, it takes a while for our stomach acids and everything to break it down and actually release those amino acids. So it keeps us fuller a little bit longer. Biggest question, probably why you're watching this video. How much protein do I actually need? There's a lot of different sources. A lot of it comes down to research. The government says we only need 50 grams per day. I really don't think that's valid. Just because they've done research after research after research that shows that we need more than that. For the average person, usually my recommendation is 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. If you've done body fat tests and you know exactly how much lean body mass you have, then usually I bump that up to 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. Just because that's kind of what's been shown to give the best recovery, that we're not wasting and having too much protein. Because once we get into that too much protein, our body just uses energy anyway. The people that do need a little bit more than those numbers are people that are runners, people that do a lot of endurance activity, people that beat up their bodies on a day-to-day basis, you know, such as construction workers, people that are on their feet all day, people that are really physically active. Now, I'm not talking about people that are just on their feet all day, you know, even like store clerks and things like that. People that are super active, that are lifting things all day and being super active with their bodies. Those people need a little bit more, just because we get into situations where we don't have as much carbs in our body, we don't have as much carbs in our muscles, and it basically starts breaking down our muscle, starts breaking down those amino acids so that we can use them for energy. And that's where we need more protein in our meals to basically help replenish those stores that were used. Remember guys, quality, control, consistency. That is how any diet's going to work. That's also how any diet's going to fail if you don't have those three components. I just wanted to take a second to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to watch my video. I really hope you enjoyed the content, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. Please visit my website, fullcirclefitness618.com. There you will sign up for a newsletter and receive a free goal sheet that will help you stay motivated and help you figure out goals for 2020. If you like this video, please like and share it with your friends to help support my goal to help 20,000 people in year 2020.